She didn't know anyone was watching. Just a tired waitress, feeding a blind little girl with all the care in the world. But that small act of kindness was about to change everything. Eleanor Pierce was what people called untouchable. Money, power, name. The kind of woman who owned half the downtown skyline. And yet, never once smiled at a stranger. That day, her 8-year-old daughter Lily sat quietly at a corner table. Her soft blonde hair fell over her small sunglasses. She couldn't see, but she could always sense when her mother was near or too busy. Eleanor was on a call, whispering about mergers, contracts, and charity galas, while Lily traced the tablecloth with her tiny fingers. Then came Tanya, a young black waitress, maybe 27, moving with calm and kindness. Her uniform was faded, but her eyes, full of life. When she placed Lily's plate down, the little girl smiled. "Is it pancakes?" Tanya laughed. "Not today, sweetheart. It's pasta. Want me to help you with it?" The child nodded shyly, and before Eleanor could even turn around, Tanya sat beside her, cutting the pasta softly, feeding her gently. The room went quiet. Eleanor froze, her hand halfway to her coffee. Her rich friends glanced over, murmuring, "Is she feeding her? That woman shouldn't be touching her." But Lily giggled, a sound Eleanor hadn't heard in months. For the first time, Eleanor didn't know whether to feel anger or awe. Later that night, the whispers started. At her social club, Eleanor's friends teased her. "Honey, you let that waitress feed your daughter? God, these people just don't know boundaries." She forced a smile. "It's fine, she was just helping." But deep inside, something bothered her. Not what Tanya did, but what Eleanor felt while watching her. For one moment, she saw her daughter cared for. Without expectation, without money, without fame. Just kindness. And she couldn't remember the last time she did that. The next week, Eleanor returned to the cafe. Lily insisted, "Can we go see the nice lady again, Mommy?" Tanya was behind the counter this time, hair tied back, smiling at a couple of old customers. Lily ran ahead, bumping into Tanya's leg. "Oh, there's my sunshine," Tanya said, lifting her gently. Eleanor stood there, watching again, feeling something twist in her chest. They sat together that day, all three. Eleanor listened to Tanya's stories, how she worked double shifts so her little brother could finish college, how she once dreamed of becoming a nurse, but tuition and bills always won. Eleanor was quiet. She'd never met someone who spoke with hope, even in struggle. When they left, Lily whispered, "Mommy, I like her. She talks like she can see me, not my eyes." That night, Eleanor couldn't sleep. A few days later, it rained. Eleanor arrived unannounced at the cafe. She saw Tanya outside, talking to her coworker, her apron soaked, hair messy, still smiling. Eleanor hesitated at the door. For the first time in years, she felt small. She overheard a man arguing with Tanya's manager. "She's late again. Always got excuses." Tanya bowed her head. "I'm sorry, my bus broke down. I'll make up the hours." The man scoffed. "You people always say that." Eleanor froze at those words. "You people." The same tone she'd heard her whole life at fancy parties. The one she'd never questioned until now. That evening, Eleanor invited Tanya and Lily to her mansion. Tanya refused at first. "Ma'am, I don't belong in a place like that." But Lily's little voice insisted. "Please come. Mommy said you can cook your favorite food." Tanya arrived in a simple floral dress, nervous but graceful. The servants stared. The guards whispered, but Eleanor silenced them with one look. Over dinner, Tanya told stories. Of growing up with nothing, of people locking doors when she walked by. Eleanor listened, truly listened. For the first time, she didn't feel like the powerful one. She felt like the one learning. Later that night, Eleanor walked Tanya to the gate. "Thank you," she said softly, "for being kind to my daughter." Tanya smiled. "She's easy to love, ma'am. She just needed someone to look past her blindness." Eleanor's eyes glistened. "Maybe I did too," she whispered. Weeks passed. Tanya's cafe closed down suddenly. Rent had tripled. Eleanor tried to call her, but her number was disconnected. Lily cried every night. "Where's Tanya?" Eleanor promised she'd find her. 3 weeks later, a small headline caught her eye. "Local waitress loses home after cafe shut down." It was her. Eleanor drove across the city until she found Tanya at a shelter, helping other women, serving food like she always did. "Tanya," she whispered, standing behind her. Tanya turned, shocked. Mrs. Pierce? What are you doing here? Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. You helped my daughter when no one did. Now it's my turn. Months later, a new community cafe opened downtown. Bright signboard, Lily's Place, founded by Eleanor and Tanya. Inside, children with disabilities played, while volunteers from every color and background served with smiles. Tanya ran the cafe. Eleanor funded it quietly, but every morning she showed up to serve coffee beside Tanya, wearing the same apron. When reporters asked her why, Eleanor said, "Because I learned that privilege without compassion is blindness." Lily runs to Tanya, hugging her tightly. Her small voice says, "Mommy, I can see now." Eleanor smiles tearfully. She knows her daughter doesn't mean with her eyes, but with her heart. Kindness, Eleanor whispers, is the only color the world should ever see. Racism isn't just about hate, it's about blindness. And sometimes, it takes losing sight to finally see what matters.